I want it to be little more interactive, right? And so that when you are interactive, we grow together, right? All right. Okay. All right. So we are,
Okay,
yeah. Tell me, Rajvin.
so I've been okay.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
doing fine.
Okay.
I
All
just
right. Good.
having some meltdowns,
Mm-hmm.
but I think after today's session, I will learn a lot.
Hmm. Right.
So I hope that today's session. Any questions? I'll ask you at the end of
Yeah,
the session.
definitely. Definitely. This is going to be, I want you to be participative. Of course, we're talking about emotional health and the day we are born, no, our emotions are born with us, isn't it? Uh, all right. So let me start the session, right? I would still like to know the name. What's your name? Oppo A7. Can you please introduce yourself? That'd be good for us. And if you can be on video, that'd be good. If not, then please introduce yourself. Write your name at least. Otherwise, I'll be speaking to you as a identification number, right? So please do that. Change your name, right? Okay. So I'm going to start. So the session topic is emotional health. So if I ask you, uh, what is emotions? What is emotional well-being? What's emotional health? Can you just give a thought, give a thread so that I can start the question, start the session?
Okay. Emotions is the expressions of feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you like to suppress the feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel that suppressing is not, because that is what happened to me.
Hmm.
So I have gone into suppression,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes when my second helper triggers me,
Mm-hmm.
not my caregiver, but my caregiver's needs,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will be like full of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Because yesterday I went to a doctor, and my dad forced me to go there, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind going once a week.
Mm-hmm.
But if too long,
Mm-hmm.
one session straight, then the body will not
Mm-hmm.
body will not compensate, because
Okay.
if the
Mm-hmm.
I feel that emotions are collections of
Mm-hmm.
feelings of happy, sad,
Mm-hmm.
anger, and sadness and happiness and joyfulness.
Right.
So
Right.
you must, in order to be happy, in order to achieve
Hmm.
mental well-being,
Hmm.
emotional well-being, you must be happy from the
Yes.
mind.
Right.
If you're happy
Absolutely.
from the mind,
Hmm.
then your body will be relaxed. If your body is relaxed and the mind is not happy,
Right.
you cannot achieve anything. Thank you.
Right, right. Absolutely. Very rightfully said, Rajvin. In fact, all our health, in fact, our emotional health are related to our physical, intellectual, spiritual, right? So all are interconnected, right? And what we do is we usually suppress our emotions, right? And we don't share our emotions. So most of us, either in that state of mind where we are more often than not, we are suppressing our emotions. So let me tell you, let me make you understand what emotional health is all about and how it affects your life, right? How you can improve your emotional health, and we'll try and build a emotional portfolio. Right, so we'll do this kind of an exercise towards the end of the session. So let's begin. I'm sharing my screen without any further ado. All right. Okay. Just give me one moment. All right. Is my screen visible? Yes or no? Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
All right, Vasanti, thank you for your changing the name so I can now recognize you, right? All right. Okay. So as I said, emotional health is our sessions today. Now, what is emotional health? Right. So let's understand the moment we are born here, right, in this earth, the journey begins the day we are born and continues until we leave this earth, right? So we are born with the moment we are born, we are full of emotions, right? And how effectively we handle the spectrum, the entire spectrum, determines our emotional health, right? So there may be some people who are able to effectively uh, maybe share their emotions. There are people or navigate their emotions, but there are people, as Rajvin you said, there are people who more often than not suppress their emotions, right? So when we do that, what happens? There are certain kind of uneasiness or in our mental state, in our physical state starts to happen, right? So some people are adapt and navigating this complicated world of human emotions, right? And some people struggle, right, to express their feeling in a healthy way. So now we need to understand that if we are expressing or if we are sharing our emotions in a healthy way, this is going to affect our mental health in a better way, right? So it's straight away connected. Emotional health is connected with mental health, although there will be difference between emotional health and mental health, right? When we will talk it about it later. So emotional health is a personal ability or a person's ability to accept and manage their feeling, right? Somebody in a given situation, the same person reacts or response. So it is your emotions. Reaction is your emotions, right? Responding is your emotion. Right. So we'll talk about responding and reacting as well, right? So emotional health is a personal, maybe characteristics, maybe person's ability to accept and manage their feelings, how effectively they manage their feelings, right? And when we talk about someone who is emotionally healthy can allow their emotions to be digestible, right? So there is a marked difference between emotionally healthy people or emotionally unhealthy people, right? So the daily chores of our life, the daily chores of life, the mundane routine, as I said, offer opportunities to us either to practice reaction or maybe response or responding, right? Rather than, and this allows us, when we react, our emotional health also affects in a negative way, and then when we respond, then our emotional health no, starts to flourish. So overall health, as we begin this session, overall health uh, is what is it's divided into, let's say, physical, emotional, intellectual, social, and spiritual aspects, isn't it? These 5 6 aspects are there. We are already aware of that, isn't it? Yes or no? Right. So overall health includes our physical, emotional, intellectual,
Mental,
social, and spiritual aspects. These
mental,
five.
spiritual. Yeah.
Yes, right. So these five aspects. So we are here today. We are talking more about emotional, but by saying that, it is also very important to know that they all are interconnected. And how I'll tell you how they are interconnected: physical, emotional, intellectual, social, and spiritual aspects. Right? Remember that. And I'll share with you how they are interconnected and how it affects your health. So when they are in balance, when our physical, emotional, intellectual, social, and spiritual, these five health, when they are in balance, they are in alignment, human beings are going to thrive, right? Human beings are going to thrive. And this is each aspects of our lives of these lives, these areas of life will influence to other. They are all interconnected, right? Of course, we're talking about emotional health today, but they are interconnected at, at any point of time. Now, how they are interconnected and how it affects you. Let's take a small example. What happens? What happens? Let's say walking just 10 to 15 minutes a day, right, gives your brain a boost. Yes or no? Right or
Yeah.
wrong? Right. So walking just 10 or 15 minutes a day gives your brain a boost. That means more energy, right? More awareness and a healthier outlook of life, isn't it? Right. So because you are exercising daily, this exercise of any sort balances your dopamine and serotonin level, right? So there you're producing hormones, right? And these hormones are affecting your sleep. This improving your sleep and reduces stress and anxiety. That's why, right? All are going to be interconnected, your emotions, right? And all of this can make you better equipped to manage your feelings or emotions, right? So that's how the interconnectedness are there, right? And each area of your well-being has potential to impact other areas, as I said in the beginning, right? Many studies are there, many researches are there, that focuses on the poor or mental well-being negatively impacts physical health, right? Impact physical health immediately. The effects you will start, it is quite visible. It is quite visible that your emotional health, when you are not healthy, when you are emotionally not healthy, it will start reflecting on your physical health as well, and the physical health will start deteriorating slowly. So leading to various diseases, increased risk in your life, like cancer, cardiovascular diseases, respiratory diseases. We have seen in the past as well that how mental and physical health are interconnected, and of course emotional health, right? And most of the time, as I've been saying since the beginning of this session, that most of the time we are not effectively sharing our emotions, right? So that's impacting our emotional health, and it is also creating little bit of a havoc to begin with, right, in our physical aspects of our life, our spiritual effects of our life, our social effects or aspects of our life. All these are interconnected. So one thing is very clear, that your emotional health, if it is good, all areas of your life, all areas of your life are going to be very good, right? So that's how, and that is why it is very important for us to understand emotional health in a better way and work on emotional health, right? Uh, if you don't work on your emotional health, I'm sorry to say, your life is going to be a stressful journey, right? Which we don't want at all, right? So that's the relationship between emotional health or emotional well-being and your other areas of your health. So why is emotional well-being or emotional health important, right? Let us understand that. See, your resilience grows, right? You bounce back faster, right? Your resilience grows when you recognize the emotions that trigger you and express them in a constructive way or constructive manner to yourself or others, right? That's why I'm very appreciative of journaling, right? Because you know your thoughts, you get to know your emotions as well. And when you are sharing, if you're not able to sharing your emotions with anybody, right, you are sharing with yourself, you're writing it down, right? So it is creating an expression, right, of your emotions, right? So your resilience grow, right? And if we don't transform, right, what happens, Rajwan, when you said in the beginning, right, what happens, the if we start suppressing, or if we keep suppressing our emotions, most of the time, what will happen, it will reflect to your personality, right? That is number one. And it will lead to interfere in your daily life, like it will वो कहते हैं कि आपकी फैमिली के ऊपर आपका गुस्सा निकलेगा, let's say usually those who are close proximity to us, right? So let's say our family, our neighbors, our co-workers, our colleagues, right? And invariably they are vulnerable. What our children, right? We have usually seen that if I'm not emotionally feeling good, I'm expressing anger to somebody in my family, right?
I'm sick
For an
and
example,
not
somebody saying something.
not free.
All right. Okay. So, so you are expressing it. You first of all, you're suppressing your emotions. Then your reaction is that you are expressing those frustrations or those feelings in a very, very negative way to your family members, your colleagues, your co-workers, and most vulnerable people are your children, right? Now, when you express your anger, you express your whatever feeling you are doing it to your children, right? What they will learn the same role model. You are a role model for them, right? They will start the same thing when they become adult, right? Because they have seen like that. So it's very important to have an awareness of your emotions and be in that mode of awareness. We'll talk about it, how you have to improve or how we will improve together. So to transform that adversity, begin by observing and managing your thoughts. Most of the time we don't observe our thoughts, right? So first thing is that begin by observing and managing your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, right? Anybody can ask questions. Anybody can stop me and ask questions if there are any clarifications required. So there's no problem in that part, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
Sandeep ji, I would like to ask you,
yeah,
what, you're talking about emotional well-being, right?
yes.
Um, okay, so I'm a very overly positive
Hmm.
from consciously positive also.
Hmm.
Even since young, also, I've been doing a lot of, since 2015,
Hmm.
I have been doing, I have been doing a lot of adversity, a
Hmm.
lot of advocacy work.
Hmm.
But now, for the past 6 months,
Hmm.
uh, things have taken a toll on me. I don't know why, because I
Uh-huh.
work so hard.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there's this trigger from my from my caregiver's niece,
Hmm.
but I don't let that affect me. But
Hmm.
day in and day out, if I see a person not comprehends with my emotions,
Hmm.
not my not my body is a problem.
Hmm.
The mind then gets disturbed
Yes.
by these triggers.
Yes.
My body might be less spastic,
Right.
but if my mind is not sound, the
Hmm.
body might get into tension.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. So it is
So,
all interconnected. Yes.
so how to then avoid this kind of triggers and
Hmm.
how to overcome?
Hmm. All right. So my answer would be, see, first of all, as since we are talking about emotional health, see, you cannot change people, Rajwin. I've been telling people that you cannot. When I coach people, no, business as well as life, right? So you cannot change people, yeah, right? So try and avoid interaction with the negative people, right? That is one. And do not when I said that, it's because you are not being able to, you will be powerless among those people, right? So it's your exercise has to be on yourself rather than to them, right? So whatever you can change yourself, right? So try and observe your thoughts, right? Try and observe your feelings and behaviors, right? Because you're not going to change the other people, right? So what kind of emotions you get, right? You get frustration, you get anger, you get whatever, right? And try and improve onto that, right? As far as your emotional health, try and share with somebody, try and write a journal, and try to overcome in those things, right? Try to be positive and work on yourself. We can always work on yourself, on ourselves, right? Rather than what we are, most of the time we are trying to change others, we are trying to work on somebody else, right? But it's not the way, right? So 99% every day you will feel and you will find those kind of people who are going to pull you down, right? I always say that, right? You pull you down. So you need to be aware of that. You need to be aware of your emotions, and how your body starts responding or reacting when somebody
Yeah.
is saying something, somebody is criticizing you, somebody is saying something negative to you. So stay at a distance, right? Stay at a distance. That's number one. And keep on working on your emotions. That will lead to your better emotional health, right? Because it is a quite a fact. Then when your emotions are not in control, right, your body, your physical aspects, your other aspects of life are going to be impacted, in a very, very negative way, right? So that helps. I hope I am able to answer you.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that helps determine the actions you take and completely changes the way you can handle stressful situations and make
And
decisions,
and
right?
one
Yeah,
one more.
yeah.
What kind of foods triggers emotions?
Well, as far as relations between food and emotions are concerned, well, there are studies that they can affect, but it will depend. I'll not comment on it right now, because there are certain choices people are having in terms of their food, yeah, their daily habits. Of course, but that is one. Food is one thing which I believe personally that affects the emotions, right?
And
So
also and also that it's caused by hormonal. For me, it's caused by hormonal issue.
of course.
And it's I notice that it's very hard for my mom and dad to understand, or
Mhm.
anybody to
Right,
understand,
right.
because I am my own journey, right? Because
Yes, yes, yes.
I am my own I am my own journey, and
Yes, of course.
no one can
Yes.
judge me, and no one can compare, because
Right.
I've been traumatized by my mom's sister.
Hmm.
I'm saying that I'm my
Hmm.
own journey. Whatever I
Yes.
want to do is it's up to me.
Yes, of course. It's up to you. So it is your journey, and whatever they are doing, their life is their journey,
Yeah, their
right?
journey also.
Their journey,
I don't,
right?
in,
So they're
I don't interfere in theirs. So why they
right.
interfere in mine? So
Right.
that
So
is
you can very well communicate with them in a very, very positive way, right? You can have a healthy interactions on these part, right? And at the same time, you can make a distance, right? Let's say I'm not saying that you make a distance from your parents, but you can sit down, you can talk with them in a healthy manner, right? Everybody has their his or her
the
own set of,
problem is Sandeep Jim. It's
yeah.
not my parents.
Mm,
It's not my parents. It's other people coming
mm.
telling them what to do.
Right. So you tell them once or twice. That's all. Else you leave it. Right. You leave that place. You leave that place. Be at a distance. Right. Go to other room if they're sitting in somewhere. Go to other room. Don't go there. Right. Because your mental health, your emotional health is with you. Right. It is in your hand. You what we are trying to do. It's the irony of the situation. We have given control of our emotion to somebody else, right? Or other
Yes.
people. They are trying, and what they are doing is, it is affecting us, right? So not to affect us, that kind of a situation, we need to cut in terms of no, mentally you have to be make a distance from there, right? And you have to avoid certain kind of, because I am always a firm believer that you cannot change people, you cannot change, you are
Yes.
powerless over them, right?
True,
You
but
can,
it
right? So you are
keep on triggering again.
so that's, yes, that's what I'm saying, Rajvin, that you, when you are aware of your triggers, right, try and avoid those triggers. No, why to go in the similar kind of situation again and again? So that is why awareness is very, very important. And once we are aware of the, first the awareness important, second thing, if we are aware of our triggers, right, and most of the time we get to know our triggers, right, and you write your triggers, right, you write your triggers and avoid those triggers next time, right? And it is in your hand, right? Don't give the key to other people. Your key is with you, right? Okay, can I
Yes.
go ahead? All right.
Yes.
All right, so that's why emotional well-being is very, very important for us. now now as far why is emotional well-being important, as you place more emphasis on your emotional well-being, you are able to do what? Receive and offer, understand this, receive and offer feedback with a healthy perspective, right? Like I'm giving a feedback to Rajvin, right? So if he's an emotionally well healthy person, or emotionally well-being wellness are in alignment, right, she or he in that case she is going to receive and offer feedback with a healthy perspective. We are doing a healthy discussion here, isn't it? So that is number one. And have discussions and difficult conversations with anyone, Rajwin. Difficult conversation with anyone, right? If as you place more emphasis on your emotional well-being, right, you are master of your emotions. You are creator of your emotions. You are if you're creating the day, as I said, the day we are born, the emotions are with us, and it's going to remain with us, right? So we need to work on this, isn't it? When the lifelong something is going to be with us, we need to work on this, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right, right. So when you are emotionally aligned, you are able to receive and offer feedback with a healthy perspective, and you are able to handle this difficult conversations, like you was just shared, right? And with that establish, and that's when you are able to handle difficult conversation, Rajwen, and people in the session, you are going to establish stronger relationships, right? When you are, when in fact if it is like that, if you don't like somebody and you create a situation, uh, or you don't like certain characteristics of some person, if you sit with them, right, if you are so emotionally healthy, if you are so emotionally healthy, I'm giving this, I'm deliberately saying this word, if you are emotionally healthy, then you will be able to do it, right? You will be able to confront that person, or confront that difficult conversation, right? And you are going to ultimately if you are emotionally strong, you are going to establish a stronger relationship with that particular person itself, and overall also. All right. And that's because your level of understanding, the similar thing which I just shared, that is because your level of understanding, your empathy, your perspective, right, your humor, your compassion increases, right? Because you come out of these little bit, or nitty gritty of these things, right? And you view yourself and others with less judgment. And when we view ourselves and other with less judgment, right, we are going to be internally strong as far as our emotions are concerned, right? And as I said, most of the time we are doing judgment, we are self judgment on others, right? We are constantly doing it. That is why the problem, that's why the problem, that's why the challenge of handling emotions, right? Okay. Now let me also share with you the characteristics of emotionally healthy person, right? We're talking about emotions, we're talking about emotional well-being, we're talking about just talked about difficult conversation. We talked about how emotions and other aspects of lives are interconnected. So first thing, that the person who is emotionally healthy, the person is going to be very self no awareness would be there, self awareness would be there. That would be number one. Why? Because an emotionally well person can look at the self, right? Look at the self and redirect emotions, right? That's why I said, Rajvin, we need to work on ourselves. We don't need to work on others, right? Other people. We work on ourselves. So an emotionally healthy person or emotionally well person can look at the self and redirect emotions when needed to navigate distress and elation, right? And working hand in hand with self-awareness, when you are self-aware, you accept yourself as you are, right? So it self-awareness leads to self-acceptance, right? And when you lead to, or it leads to acceptance, emotionally healthy people accept themselves, because we all are unique people, right? We all are different, right, and unique, right? So emotionally healthy people accept themselves and can handle adversity with very clear thoughts. Very, because adversity is going to be there. Your life is going to be challenging. Your life is full of ups and downs on a daily basis, right? So when you are, so emotionally healthy person will be able to be more self-aware. It will lead to self acceptance and more clarity in the challenging situation. And then other thing is, the person who is emotionally healthy, you must have experienced that, is he is of course going to be emotional agility would be there. They'll be more agile. They're more agile as far as their emotions are concerned. An emotionally healthy person is not immune to setbacks or adversity, right? He or she is going to bounce back very soon. However, with an open mind and a curious thought process, thriving through difficulty is possible, because life is there. Life throws challenges every day, right? So emotionally healthy person is emotionally agile also, right? And their coping skills are better. Their coping skills are better. Their stress management skills are better. So practicing these skills when times are calm, when you practice these skills, because when you are peaceful, where in a calming situation, and when you are practicing these coping skills, when the situation arrives, because you've been practicing coping skills, right? When things are not so calm, you are at the higher level of yourself, or higher level of bouncing back, right? And more likely you'll bounce back in a much better shape, right? So it's like preparing for a battle, right? Adversity, as I said, challenging situations are going to be there in your life, because we are here in this world where we are experiencing life. It has to be challenging. Ups and downs are going to be there. So emotional capital that you build no, in your life is going to be your asset, your real capital, right? Not the financial health. Or financial health is one part, right? Emotional capital is what you build when you are at peace. So when you are at peace,
That's true.
your coping skills will increase. Your coping skills will increase. You keep on practicing those coping skills, and when the time comes, you practice those coping skills. You can implement those skills and come out of the situations very fast. So an emotionally healthy person has better coping skills. Okay, now they are more kind, and practices more integrity. In terms of an emotionally healthy person treats others with kindness and in integrity. They do so without any reward. They volunteer themselves, right? They interact with people around them with curiosity and compassion. They shows empathy, right? They take the other person's perspective. They understand them, right? And they feel kind. They are so compassionate that they're all energy towards understanding. Their energy towards the kindness is going to be the game changer for them, right? And then they're living with a purpose. You'll always see that their purpose are well defined, right? their purpose are well defined, they are not struggling with their purpose, right? Because people living in purpose will think about their inner experiences less and focus on their how their experiences can serve others, how I can be better to others, how can I be help to others, right? How my emotions allows to pass with acknowledgement and release them in favor of larger picture. They're always thinking in terms of big picture, right? They're not narrow minded, right? They are open, right? And they, because their purpose is very very clear, and their purpose is clear, and that's why they are able to understand people in a much better way. So living a purpose, and as I said, that they are better stress manager, right? They manage their stress very well. An emotionally healthy person manages the stress well and regularly practices moments of serenity, right? Which is very important. And good leaders are often calm in difficult circumstances. For example, if you are a cricket buff, you must have seen the composer of MS Dhoni all the time in a difficult situation in cricket. So his emotions are always in check, and his responses. I'm specifically talking about Dhoni because I have seen him, over the years, that his responses are also very, very measured if when he gives interview, and when he interacts with people, and he's so uh, a good a leader, and most of the time he is calm. So better stress management. So these are the characteristics, which a few characteristics which I wanted to share with you, that emotionally healthy people have. Now, what are some examples? What are some examples of a healthy, maybe emotional well-being? Right. So this is this particular part of this session is very very good in terms of understanding, and also to implement in life. See, strong emotional well-being means you are prepared to face events that's not been in your control, right? So most of the time your emotions are in check, right? So strong emotional well-being means you are equipped enough, right? And you are prepared enough to face that events which are going to be not in your control. So when faced with a challenging situation, Rajwin, we talked about the challenging situations, right? So when we faced with a challenging situation, you might use one of these strategies also, right? So uh, so it will bring you in the frame of mind that will allow you to manage your emotions. What? Number one number one you breathe, ground yourself, and pause. There are three things first at the first place, right? When you are facing a challenging situation, right? Anybody, right, uh, can do that, right? There are three things. Number one, you're breathing. You breathe, ground yourself, and pause. So you breathe. In a stressful situation, this simple three-step process can help you better control your emotions. Now, as I said, breathe. So breathe. When you breathe deeply, the moment there's some stressful situations are you're facing it, right? And you must have done it also, right? When you breathe deeply, you send a message to your brain that helps you calm down and relax, right? We have done a lot of breathing exercises in these sessions, in the morning sessions, right? And most of the sessions we have talked about breathing technique, as experts are also have also been here on breathing, right? So breathe. So facing stressful situations, to manage your better control, to having better control over emotions, some first thing is breathe, right? Second thing is ground yourself. Ground yourself in what sense, right? Let's say hold a pen, grab a edge of a desk, right? You're facing, imagine this, you're facing a stressful situation, you're facing something uncomfortable situation, right? If you are aware of these three steps, your emotions are going to be good enough to manage, right? You're not going to be haywire with your emotions, right? So ground yourself, maybe hold a pen, right? Grab a edge of a desk, feel the floor on which you are standing, feel the floor under your feet, right? Stand firmly there, feel the floor, right? And you return to the present moment and away from your challenging thoughts, right? So that's the rule number two. That's the process I'm talking about right now, right? So number one, what you are doing, you are facing a you're facing a stressful situation. What you are trying to do is that you're trying to overcome this, right? Number one, what you are doing is you are breathing. Your breathing techniques are there, are going to be there. Then you are grounding yourself, right? Ground yourself, in which I've said two or three things. And next thing is you are
Pause.
pause, right? Power of pause, I'll take a session maybe a little later, after a couple of weeks. But yes, pause, right? Wait, consider, what do I really want to say right now, right? What do I really want to say, right? Pause. When you know what kind of words you are going to speak, right?
Sandeepji, that reminds me of myself.
Yeah.
When there's too much noise,
uh,
I tend to ask the people who are talking,
hmm,
speak softly, or
hmm,
because I have just sharing with you my experience.
yes.
What I've been through for the 6 months
Hmm,
is when I get older, my sensory impairment
hmm,
with my cerebral palsy has gotten
right.
worse. So I believe in this pause technique.
Hmm,
Everyone should do it here.
yes, yes.
First, when two people are talking,
Hmm,
you tell the other one to stop first, and then you listen to one, and then you listen to the other one.
right.
In a way, I, in a way, I go step by step.
Yes.
I tell my parents, siblings, caregivers also the same.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Because sometimes they are talking too fast.
Right,
And sometimes, for me, I can get choked on my saliva,
right.
and I don't know what I'm saying.
Hmm,
So, by listening to them one by one, you get more clarity. And,
absolutely.
and when you have clarity, you have peace of mind.
Absolutely.
This
Rightly
is not
said.
this is not only for myself,
Hmm.
but this is for all the other people who are going through
Yes.
emotional meltdown like me. I
Right.
have panic attacks until I fall off the floor
Right.
because they sometimes non-stop trigger.
Yes.
So I rather than reacting back,
Hmm.
I better move my chair and somebody put me down. When I'm calm, then I'll sit down wherever I
Yes.
am.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, Rajvin. And yes, the power of pause. You have to use this pause thing, pause button, right? So what do you really want to say? When you know the words that will express what you need to communicate, you are in a state of emotional well-being, right? So you three-step process, very easy, right? If you're facing a challenging situations where your emotions are at stake, right? Breathe, ground yourself, and pause, right? And this is the process. And then respond instead of react, right? Respond instead of react. I talked about it a bit in the beginning of the session. Yes, to respond is to exercise your emotional intelligence, right? To react is to be emotional, right? So most of the time what we do is that we get emotional and we get into a reactionary mode, isn't it? Yes or no? Right. So how do you consistently respond instead of react? This is the optimum thing, no? So how do you consistently respond instead of react? Begin by slowing down the process. Begin by slowing down the process. Responding means you think through what you want to have happened in the interaction or conflict, right? Right. You are measured. Your measured response, your thoughtfulness, and your life. And when you are responding, right, your ideas are becoming more creative, and you be in that process, right? So that's the responding. And now reacting, on the other hand, is typically immediate, right? Which we usually do, right? Reacting, on the other hand, is very typical, very immediate, without any thought, and which are having a negative outcome. They're not for reactions, they are going to be negative outcome most of the time, 99% of the time. So you have to respond, and you have to adopt this respond instead of react, consistent basis, right? So if you be in that process, you'll be able to learn that responding, how to respond consistently, right? Now question your thoughts. Now question your thoughts, observe your thoughts, right? The next step you do is, the next time you are in a challenging situation, you ask yourself 4 questions. You ask yourself 4 questions, and your problems, your emotional health, well-being will not be affected, right? Ask yourself, is it true? First question is it true, right? Now when I say is it true, now consider whether the thought reflects how you really feel at that point of time, right? Is it true? If you think, for an example, if you think that my life is a disaster right now, right? This is what you think right now, this is what your emotions are at right now. My life is a disaster right now, which you're thinking right now, right? Consider, is it true, right? Consider whether you are truly feel that way, right? Is it true, right? That is number one thing. Ask yourself, this is number one question you need to ask yourself. Is it true, right? Number two, now, is it absolutely true? Number one is go deeper down, right? First question is it true, right? For example, if you say my life is a disaster right now, right? Consider whether you truly feel that way. That is number one. Is it true? Now, deep down, go do deep diving, right? And ask yourself, is it absolutely true? Now, go deeper. Open your mind and question what you think you know. If after the first question you thought, yes, my life is truly a disaster, right? Consider why you think that. If you think that my life is disaster, and see, my life is truly a disaster, when you're going in the second question, and now you're saying that my life is truly a disaster, then I want you to say, or consider, or you think, consider why you think that. Why you think that your life is a disaster? Are there perhaps just a few things you could change? There may be certain things that you could change, and you can find some things that are going well, right? So you may change your perspective of your life is as when you're saying your life is disaster. So that leads to our third question, which is, how do I feel when I think that thought? When I'm thinking that thought, that my life is a disaster right now, how do I feel when I think that thought? Got it? So number one, is it true? Number two, is it absolutely true? Right? Then how do you feel when I ask, or when I think that thought, my life is a disaster? How do I feel that? How do I feel when I think that thought? Now, consider the emotions and feelings that come along with the negative thoughts. For example, when you think your life is a disaster, you might feel anxious, you might feel hopeless or fearful, whatever, right? So 3 questions: is it true? Is it absolutely true? How do I feel when I think that thought, right? And number 4, who would I be without that thought? अगर मैं ये थॉट को सोचूं नहीं, right? तो क्या कुछ पॉजिटिव निकल के आएगा क्या? Right? Who would be I without that thought? If my life is a disaster right now, right? Like imagine your life without that negative thought. So I am very sure that you will find some positive, and your statement will change, right? Thought, for example, you might be happier, you might be more. अगर आप ये निकाल दोगे, ये thought ही निकाल दोगे, imagine your life without that negative thought. So for example, you might be more happier, or might be more motivated and more action focused, right? In this thought of life, and you'll see, you will start feeling that life is more wonderful than a disaster, right? So this is changing your perception. isn't it? So consider which thoughts and feelings you prefer to make a conscious decision to focus on that. As simple as that, right? And then you go back to your first step, first question, is it true? Now you'll get the answer in the fourth question, and then you will change the statement of the first question, right? So your life is no more is a disaster right now. Maybe your life is a celebration, right? So these four-step questions always ask. These are four questions always ask, right? To have a healthy emotional health, right? Okay. Now, improving your emotional well-being, quickly I'll do that and give you an assignment because we don't have much time now, right? So to improve your emotional well-being, first of all, you need to be physically active, do exercises, move your body, be physically more active, exercise daily, and it will boost your emotional well-being, right? And when I say move your body, that means exercise, then establish a routine. Establish a routine means you have to have a daily routine, whether you're working, you're a housewife, you're a professional, you are whatever you're doing, you have to have a healthy routine from morning to evening, right? uh, Now connect with others, go talk to people, be interactive, share things, share your feelings, right? Understand people, right? Connect with others. It will help you do some volunteering work, right? It will help you to nurture your emotions accordingly, right? Then practice forgiveness, right? Forgive more often and move on. Forgive, because most of the time we are in so much of resentment that forgiveness is taking a toll. Resentment is taking a toll, forgiveness and doesn't come, right? Practice forgiveness, right? And then do something for others. Volunteer, as I said, do something for others. Do some no pro bono things, volunteer things, right? Help others, right? And then sleep well. That is very, very important. 7 to 8 hours sleep is very, very important. It will repair all your physical aches, physical whatever physically you are feeling. Emotionally also you get repaired, right? So sleep well, 7 to 8 hours sleep, and be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. Practice self-love, self-care, self-awareness, right? So be kind to yourself and be self-aware, as I said. So these are the few things which you can improve your emotional well-being by practicing this. Now, I would give this assignment to you, right? Since we don't have time, you can do this assignment and you can share in the group. Everyone is going to be, let us understand this, what it is all about. जो हम जैसे हम फाइनेंस में पोर्टफोलियो बनाते हैं ना, शेयर्स का पोर्टफोलियो बनाते हैं, वैसे एक इमोशनल पोर्टफोलियो बनाना है, right? So I'm giving you certain prompts here which you can take it from here and start your portfolio, start building your portfolio. Let's say hope, right? So this is the question, these are the question, understand this question. I'll share this slide also, right? And it will be in the recording as well, right? So hope, when have you felt full of optimism and hope? There are certain questions you have to write down, right? You write them down. When have you feared the worst but still believed something good would happen, right? As far as the hope is concerned. When have you found an inventive way to try and create a better future? That's hope, right? Now, similarly, joy. When have you felt utter joy? When was everything, or when has everything been at its very best? And when have you felt that warm glow of complete happiness? That's joy. That's one. Number one is hope. So you are building your portfolio slowly, emotional portfolio. Hope, joy, and then gratitude. Gratitude, I've talked about enough on gratitude. You have a lot of materials, right? And gratitude, when have you felt most grateful for something or someone, right? What do you treasure most in life, and when do you feel most like giving back, right? And then comes to serenity. Serenity is, when have you felt most at peace? When do you feel most relaxed? When do you feel like savoring the moment and the experiences? And then inspiration. Prerna, right? When are you most inspired? When did you most experience excellence? What was your experience? And when did you most experience the urge to do your best and reach the next level? What did you do that? Right. So these are the questions from where you can build your emotional portfolio. So keep this portfolio, or keep the portfolio up to date, and create additional ones as per your choices, right? I know, bringing other emotions also, that is important to you, right? So this is the task for you. Till we meet next week, maybe in this week, you can do this assignment. Try and do that. That's my suggestion. And then you see that how emotionally healthy you are going to be. Thank you so much. And any questions, any clarifications, I'm going to answer that.
Okay,
Uh,
I just want to clarify about uh, uh, anger. You forgot to mention anger.
hmm.
So can I include that as well?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. Whatever, see, you do this exercise, Rajman, and see, whatever I've given the clues or prompts, let's say joy, hope, gratitude, serenity, you want to add your own, let's say anger, right? So what has been affected? What has been affected? So emotions, that's a negative emotions, not at all a problem. But how you have overcome it, how you have overcame it, you write it down. Build 2 or 3 questions on a similar way on anger, that how did you overcome that particular situation of anger, right?
okay,
All
sure.
right.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, Shabanaji, thank you so much. If there is no question.
Yeah.